What is going on, guys? FMU here, welcome back. This is a brand new series where we have a little look and see how the England team did or would do if placed in the Premier League. So sorry Sunderland fans, but I just randomly picked a team and Sunderland was the team. I've taken Sunderland away from the Premier League and from the Football League in general, and just put, I've created this club, I've made the kits, I've made the badge called Lions FC, which is basically just the England team, or, you know, a variation of the England team. I've just gone in and taken a load of players. So we've got Joe Hart, Fraser Forster even, Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, Cahill, Klein, Baines, Shaw, Gibbs, Carrot, Lallana, Milner, Young, Sterling, Henderson, Barkley, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Cleverley, Wilshere, Theo Walcott, Welbeck, Rooney, Sturridge and Kane, and Rob Green, John Stones, Ryan Bertrand, Fabian Delph, Andros Townsend, and I don't think there's anybody else. Nope, that's it. Also put the club under a transfer embargo, so they cannot sign players. They can sell them and they can have youth teams, but for 5 seasons, 5-6 seasons, they can't sign players. Or they shouldn't be able to anyway. If they do, we can always use the in-game editor to take foreign players out and just leave English players in, but hopefully it should work fine. I didn't really mess around with the finances or anything, but it's given them a very rich outcome, and they've got 81,000 season ticket holders at Wembley. Crazy. They've not picked their captain or vice captain or anything along those lines as yet. Tactics wise, he's going to tend to go with the 4-2-3-1 formation. That's at the moment anyway. Schedule wise, I've not put them in any European competitions or anything like that for the first season, so it's just a case of let's crack on and see how they do. We'll jump forward to just after the January transfer window, and we'll have a little look and a little analysis of how the first half of the season has gone. Right, we are then, guys. So we're halfway through the season. We're into February, just at the end of the transfer window. And I've been thinking what we should do is at the end of this video, at the end of the first season, below in the comments, let me know English players that you think I should move to the club, so I can go use the in-game editor and move them to the clubs. So players that I haven't currently moved over, like Jagielka, Ward-Prowse, Lambert, and any other English players you could think of, even if it's up and coming young kids that you think I should bring in to do, you know, try and do something in this Lions FC team, let me know. So Roy Hodgson, let's have a quick little look at how his boys have done in the Premier League so far. They're currently 6th on 37 points. There's no way they're going to win the league. Chelsea too far ahead of them, in my opinion. As far as top goal scorers go, they've not got anybody in the top goal scorers, the top 4 anyway, nor in the average rating, nor in the most assists. Player of the match wise though, Leighton Baines is in there with 6. Joe Hart is in the most clean sheets with 6. And that is it really. They've not done much else apart from that when it comes to you know, the league. So let's have a little look now at all the competitions. Now I think I've made a bit of a boo-boo, and I've messed it up. They're not involved in the FA Cup. I've just realised that, so I apologise for that. So let's just have a quick look and see who they've done really well against and who they've struggled against. They got an absolute lather in it to Manchester City by 5-0. Performed well against Villa with a 3-0 win there. Lost to Chelsea. Drew at home to Arsenal thanks to Milner. Lost to Watford. Man United beat them as well quite easily. They've just lost to Everton as well. So they seem to be losing to the bigger teams in the Premier League. No disrespect to any other teams, but you know, the so-called big teams. And they lost in the quarterfinals of the Capital One Cup 3-2 against Arsenal after knocking out QPR 2-0, Leicester 3-2 and Southampton 2-0. But unfortunately they were beaten in the quarterfinals. So, you know, it's a case of, you know, they've only got the Premier League to run at now because of my small error. So for that I do apologise. I would go back and restart again, but there's no need. We don't need the FA Cup. This is about how they're doing the Premier League, you know, so we don't need to worry about that too much. A lot of injuries going on, which is probably, you know, not helping when it comes to their league form, because they're clearly, you know, picking up a lot of injuries at the moment, and a lot of their first team are out. I mean, they've still got a very good team, don't get me wrong, but you know, without these guys in as backup, it's looking pretty grim on the you know, player availability front. Precarious positions. Now, Mr. Hodgson's position is insecure at the moment. He's been sort of flirting between insecure and disastrous, basically. He's been up and down, but we'll see how he does come the end of the season, see if he hangs on in there, or if somebody else takes over. If they do, it's probably going to be a foreign manager. It's very highly unlikely an English manager is going to come in. So let's go and find out how we do come the end of the season. Okay then guys, here we are, the end of the season, and our boys Lions FC have finished in 6th place. Just creeping into the Europa League, ahead of Man City, finished 7th, which is pretty poor for them, pretty poor indeed. United win the league, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham. So, nobody in the top 4 goal scorers, nobody in the average rating. Leighton Baines in most assists, come joint second with Cazorla with 13. Man of the match, again Leighton Baines, come 4th with 7. Sorry, my next door neighbour's dog barking like a crazy fool. It's too hot to shut the window, so I had to pause there, so I apologise. So, 6th place. Shut up! 6th place. Europa League spot is booked, but 6th was not good enough for Roy Hodgson to keep his job. So we now have to think about who we want to replace Roy Hodgson at the club, and if there's any English players you want to bring in. So in the comments below, give me a British manager or an English manager. You know, if you want to go play in Old English, we'll go play in English. Who you feel deserves the chance to take over Lions FC. My personal preference is towards Eddie Howe, but you guys let me know below. Do you think Eddie Howe is a good idea? Bear me a second. No, it's alright. I just thought my that's better. My screen was a little bit out of sync. I apologise. So my personal preference is Eddie Howe, but you guys might have a different idea of who you think should come in. So, squad wise, you know, obviously they can't bring anybody in apart from the youth players, and let's have a look. Under 21s, they've still got a few players in there that are quite decent looking. Also some youngsters have come through. So you've got Chris Kirkwood, he's English, which is good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to remove any kids that come through who aren't English, just to keep the continuity of it being an entire English squad going. So that means you, my friend, unfortunately, you're going to have your contract El Terminatos. You're not a proper player there, you're alright. So let's have a look. Who is it? Who they think? Chris Jones. They say the right back, the young right back, is the best they've got to offer that's come through the youth team. So you've got Jones, you've got Kirkwood, Nielsen, Whale Shields, interesting name. Barkley, Bertrand, Cleverly, Delph, Rob Green. So they haven't got to have many come through, but they've got a decent young English side coming on to a degree. Anyway, so guys, the first episode was always going to be a shorter one because we just wanted to get it going and get the first season out of the way, see how I did in the first season. But what I need you to do in the comments below is let me know, number one, who you think should take over as manager, number two, if there are any players that you feel deserve the opportunity to play in this team, to help bolster the squad as well, because we saw last season a lot of injuries knocked them back down the table a bit. Maybe without all the injuries they may have finished a little bit higher in the league. Maybe they'd have got into the top 4, but who knows. Next season we'll see how they do in that, and of course next season they're in the Europa League now, so they've got that to play for as well as the Capital One Cup. So hit the thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, you think it's a good idea. Let me know in the comments below, signings, manager, so on. And also don't be mean guys in the comments, keep it clean, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.